Okay, here we go. Test. Okay, here we go. Round two. We're just making it in just a little over our 10:30 mark, but I'm going to give this a shot. So we're doing 11 contracts now. We scale up to 11. I'm going to try to get this filled at 80. Send that off. There we go. We got filled at 80 right away. So let me lock this in at 80. I'm going to set my automatic exit order or my automatic profit taking order, which will be to buy it back at 30. It'll give us $50 per contract's profit, or 550 total. So I'll set that off. And let's see here. Yeah, so let's confirm and send. Okay. So that's set off. That's all set up to go, and we're off and running on this one. So this is round 2 for today. I'm going to check this off so we can watch that live mark. We're at 11 contracts. And here we go. Here we go. I was watching the, like right now in the news, is the Rust movie shooting trial, and I was just watching this the Alec Baldwin interview or interrogation or whatever you call it. So I'm kind of like, I'm hooked on that right now, so I want to see the end of it. So this is, I don't know if this is the same day. This must be the same day, like just after it happened. He's in the police station. There's these two women detectives interviewing him. And I'll move this over so we can watch this as we watch the interview. So these two, there's Alec Baldwin. These two women here are the detectives, I guess, and they're interviewing him. He's just been talking about kind of what happened. You can tell that he's not very happy, but he's not like totally off his rocker right now. He seems, of course, it's terrible what's happened, and he's kind of confused and trying to figure out what's going on. So let's just pick it up from here. Nothing. They just kind of talked about like how the shooting happened to begin with, and where the gun was, and who the gun lady, the armorer.
Something I try to make that work, and so she showed me. I said, "Just give me the big Colt." We were done, and then on that Tuesday, the 12th, I came and shot that gun.
Okay. What color is it?
I believe it's a brown handle, because she showed me 2 of the larger Colts. One had a cherry-colored handle, and one had a brown handle, and I chose the brown handle.
You didn't want the cherry.
I could show you my emails in my phone. I didn't want the cherry. It was too shiny.
Ah, okay.
My character's a little bit in the retirement side of his career, so. He's a retired bank robber.
I'd say out in the Wild West cherry.
You need the gun to match.
Well, you always have people in films. They go to extensive. You wouldn't believe some films if they have the budget, the details you go into, of all the things you wear: jewelry, hats, watches, guns, cars. People sit down. I've made a lot of films, and the films that had bigger budgets, you could spend a whole week going to rehearsal, reading with the director. The writer goes and rewrites. They listen to how the dialogue sounds, and then once you're done rehearsing the text with the director, the producers, and the writer, when you're done reading, they'll go make amendments. When they hear it come out of your mouth, they go, "Let's change that line." The way Bob says that, and then they go, and you go right to wardrobe, props. You go do a lot of stuff.
Okay. All right. So you get back from lunch, get ready. She hands you the gun. Was this inside or outside?
We're inside the church set.
Stop. If you are buying options, you're wasting your time and money. Hi.
And was it the first rehearsal that the incident happened?
Yeah, I believe so, because we talked about, as we were going to lunch, we're always talking about what's next.
Okay.
So as we were rehearsing scenes, he said, now I want to do a scene where we've done other shots before lunch. He said, when we come back from lunch, we'll do this. And he said, wait, pull it out, show me. Because I was showing you what I thought was the best angle, to see the glint of the gun under my coat. because you want the scene to work, the shot to work. So where the holster's here, the gun is here, my coat comes around, and I held my hand like it was like I was just cupping my hands, like I was just resting.
Okay.
And I showed him in the rehearsal. So when we came back after lunch, we rehearsed for the camera, and I took the gun. I'm showing him. I'm going to go like this, like this, like this. Cock and turn. Bang! It went off. The first time.
Okay. So it was your.
It was the very first
after
time that
lunch.
we were shooting that shot, that we were rehearsing for that shot,
Okay.
that camera shot.
And you may, if you don't know this, fine. Did you happen to see? So obviously you guys left from your upper shooting area to go have lunch, or did you eat lunch up there?
No, we always go back to the base camp for lunch.
Okay.
For the stage. Yeah, for
Did
the set.
the armorers, or did you see the armorers go down?
No.
No.
Nor would I.
Okay.
Well, once they're gone, I'm gone.
Okay.
Do people stay up on set, or does everybody go down?
Well, there are many people who will forego lunch.
Okay.
I take that back, not many. There are some who will forego lunch because they have work to do.
Okay.
Some will hold them a plate, they'll bring their own lunch. Many people, they make sacrifices because of their pride for their department.
Mhm.
They may sit there and say, I think I need to paint that wall and touch up that wall. I think I need to distress those boots. They all have work to do. And very often, a small number of people will stay up top while we drive down from the set to the base camp. The caterer is there in need, but maybe a modest number of people stay up there.
Okay. All right. And then I just want to clarify, really, I know you were drawing something. All right. So when you had pulled out the gun, obviously you were not at the cameraman, but you had identified there were two people there. Can you tell me who those people were?
My recollection is that the operator was there. He's a Steadicam operator.
Okay.
He's a man who, there's either a camera on sticks that's stationary, or there's a man who operates a Steadicam that moves. The camera operator was there behind the camera, and she was to his right.
And who is she? That's the one I'm asking.
Helena, the cinematographer,
Okay.
the camera director.
And she was right next to the cameraman.
She was to his right, to my left.
And who was behind her?
Joel,
And he is.
the director of the movie.
Okay. Can you recall who exactly was inside at the time
No.
of the incident? Or anyone else?
Dave Halls,
Okay.
the first AD, he's in charge of the crew. The first assistant director is the man who's like the foreman of the set. He's in charge of all the grips, all the crew.
Okay.
Electric, cable.
Do you know
all the
his name?
furniture. Dave Halls.
Okay, that's Dave. Got it.
Dave Halls is always there. Helena, Joel, me, the operator, an assistant camera person, the script supervisor, the woman who sits in the corner in some strategic position to take notes on all the action of the take so you can match. If one day you're doing a scene, you sit there and go, what is your first name?
Samantha.
So they're like, Samantha, you know, it's really important that you and I get together and talk about that case. You drank, when did you, she makes notes, so we match every take. That's called continuity. That woman who does continuity, she's always there watching. She was in the room.
Okay.
She's an older woman, like in her 60s, maybe with, that colored blonde hair, maybe, or brown hair. But I forget her name now, but so there's a group of people that are always there for every shot, even if you're in a kind of a cramped interior. This set of this church is not large, so then the rest of the crew's outside. In that side was a limited number of people, maybe 8, 9, I don't remember. But I know that every time we do a shot, those people are always on the set.
I heard a chime. That shouldn't be us already. Come on. What is it? Okay, so that's that other trade. All right, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. That is a different trade, totally unrelated trade that I have going on that got filled. So let's get back to this.
Camera, assistant camera, cinematographer, director, first AD, script.
Okay. So not too many.
Very few.
Do you think that any part of this incident that occurred was intentional?
I can only say this, which is, and it was, to me, to place a bullet and position a bullet that is a live round to make sure that that bullet is in the chamber. If I were to squeeze the trigger in a rehearsal, that bullet came out. Someone has to have extraordinary access to that weaponry to do that. I can't imagine somebody walked around with a round that was a .45 caliber round. So you see, other people on the set were speculating that if it was a .45 caliber round, she'd be dead. It would have blown a big hole in her. And so we're wondering, was the projectile that went in her some foreign material stuck, and it was an accident, it was a flash round, and something came out of the barrel? They didn't check. They always check. But
to your experience with these armor...
I've never heard of anything like this in my life, ever.
Okay.
I've never heard of a projectile coming out of a prop gun that went through a person's body, and regardless of her being a smaller woman, that the bullet went in here.
Traders out there, if you're above $5,000 per month in profit, just skip this ad. If you're below $5K a month as a trader,
I'm told went in here, came out here, her shoulder or whatever, and went into his body. And I've never heard of that in my life. I don't know of any projectile in a gun, in a flash prop gun, that could accomplish that. Now, if somebody put a live round in there accidentally, see, a very important question for Hannah is, have you ever commingled live rounds with theatrical rounds in your kit? Because they're forbidden to do that. Mm-hmm. According to, I think, the union rules and the safety rules for all the unions, you're not allowed to do that because of the fear of what will happen that you commingle. So whether someone accidentally, and I can't even imagine this, deliberately placed a live round in that gun, I've never heard of that in my life, and I don't know anything about what happened, but all I know is when I... See, the other thing about this is, in a live round, you'd have a recoil, usually. When I shot that gun and it went off, I didn't shoot it, when it went off, I didn't intend for it for what happened to happen. When that happened is, I'm always told, because I'm not a gun person, I don't own a gun, they've always told me, they asked me to simulate the recoil. When I shoot the Colt, which is a big gun, 45 caliber bullet, they always teach me when we shoot, we go, action, I go, get back here, boom, and they make me take my hand and go, boom, and have the kick, because there's no kick in a flash round.
Okay.
And when this happened, I don't recall there being any kick either. That's important.
Okay. Are you, I know you said you don't own a gun, but are you experienced with shooting guns?
Only as much as actors have to be experienced.
Okay. Which is normally not really...
Well, I mean, like, if you do a movie, safety with weapons is primary. You go off with people. You go off with armaments people to ranges. I've gone to ranges in Arizona where we shot a lot of guns in a movie many years ago, and you go to a range and you shoot for a few hours, and they teach you how to shoot shotguns, Walther, different, little small guns, James Bond guns, big guns, Uzis, machine guns, whatever you're using. They make you go and rehearse for hours, like a whole day.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they're very safety conscious, as they have been here. They've been very safety conscious here throughout. That's what puzzles me.
Well,
We didn't have anything.
and I guess that's more like the question that I'm trying to get at is, do you think someone would deliberately do this?
I can't imagine who would.
Okay.
People have said, that 6 people got fired from the crew yesterday because they said that the union, I don't want to get into a long diatribe about this, but the union, the International Association of Theatrical Stage Employees, IATSE is their name. IATSE is the union that controls all the actors. The Directors Guild controls the director, the Screen Actors Guild, but all of the crew are controlled by a contract in which those people voted to go on strike against the major studios, the major networks, the major streaming services, but not the independent film community. In fact, the IATSE rep for the New Mexico contract, because every state has different contracts, was instructed by his bosses in LA, he said, don't go on strike. The strike is against the majors, not against the indie people. And in the indie films, there's 6 different tiers, I believe, in terms of the contract, how much they're paid.
Okay.
A bunch of people on the set walked off anyway, even though they were told not to strike. They struck, and they left.
And that was yesterday.
That was yesterday. That was their last day. And
Yeah,
the question becomes, somebody said, would one of them do? I don't even know. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Well, and I was because that was mentioned to me, is that it sounded like it was most of the camera crew that walked off set
Yes.
yesterday and quit, and maybe they got fired because they walked off. So the other thing is that the 2 major people, like you said, the director, those are the ones who got hurt. So with the camera crew and them quitting, and then your director getting injured, as well as Helena,
What will your trading account look like 8 weeks from now? Would you believe me if I told you that you'll finally be consistently profitable with just an hour of work a day in less than
No way.
alerts, indicators, joining Discord
I'm gonna go
groups
sign up
are
for this.
all the symptoms.
you don't think there's anybody that had any anger towards them or anything that would want
I
to
don't know the
film?
details. I know that one guy, whose name I'm forgetting, he was a very heavy-set guy.
Okay.
He was and lovely to me. And he walked up to me and he said, "Thank you for the things you posted on social media in support of the IATSE strike." And he said, "I'd like to talk to you privately," because he said, "because I've got some of my guys sleeping in their car."
Mm-hmm.
Many of the crew here, because it's shooting in Albuquerque and Santa Fe, are Albuquerque based. They live there. So the drive time, it's kind of common knowledge in the business that the unions in New Mexico signed very bad deals in order to attract movie shooting here. They wanted to grow the crew base here. So they signed a deal that wasn't a good deal, and that gave them a 60-mile commute radius. So that means if you live within 60 miles of the set,
Mm-hmm.
you come to work and you don't get paid any, you have to drive home, they don't hotel you. They don't know in New York it's 30 miles, and they have to put you up in a hotel and give you gas money, and there's a whole other complicated contract in the more expensive markets. Here, this guy would tell me, he turned to me and goes, "My guys are sleeping in their car." Now, I went to the AD and the producers and I asked them, "What's up with that?" He said, "They knew what the contract was. We signed the IATSE contract in New Mexico." And then in the middle of shooting, they decided they wanted to rewrite their deal. They said, "Put us up in hotels." Now, if you put the camera crew up in a hotel, all the other crafts are going to ask you to put them in a hotel. We don't have the budget for that. That could be $75,000, $80,000. You know what I mean?
Who was that man?
Oh,
The one you said that
I
came
forget.
up
Like I said, I forget his name.
Okay.
But anybody there can tell you who the big heavyset guy was, who was on the crew that quit yesterday. He didn't come to work today. But my point is that if I'm standing there in a rehearsal, I'm thinking to myself, could someone actually believe that in a rehearsal I would actually aim the gun and hit those two people? That's far-fetched. Or do they want just somebody to get hit? Or, I keep telling myself, more likely, was it an accident? Whether it was a large quarter load makes noise, but it's like kind of a puff compared. But a half load could shoot a projectile if something was stuck in the barrel. And like I said, the thing that is, I think, going to answer all your questions is, what's in Joel's shoulder? Is it a rock or is it a bullet?
I could actually show that to you.
What
Was in his shoulder. We did
they take it out?
So you being on set for so many years, like you said, have you ever seen? You said you've never seen anything come out before.
I've never seen a projectile come out. No.
Right.
No.
But do you know what the bullets look like?
Would it have looked something like this if anything did ever come out of something? Does that make
Okay.
sense?
No. Okay.
So, let's backtrack a little bit.
Let me say this to you.
Hold on.
That's a bullet.
Mhm.
That's a bullet. So
Right.
as I suspected, somebody put a live round in the gun. If that's a bullet that was pulled out of his shoulder, then someone loaded a live round into the gun I was holding.
So now, let me ask you, did you see the rounds that were in the gun?
No.
Have you seen, throughout the whole time on set, have you seen what they look like?
I've watched her load and reload the gun many times.
Have you seen the bullets themselves?
Well, meaning yes, meaning you see sometimes the head, it's the casing, and the head is a pinched, it almost looks like a dumpling. It's closed at the top, there is no piece. And you put the cosmetic round in when you know you're going to see. If I hold the gun, if I say to you, what is your first name again?
Alex.
If I say to you, "Alex, don't you move a muscle, darling, I'm going to blow you." Anyway, the camera shoots me. You want to see the material in the cylinder, the cosmetic, clay-based, non-bullet round.
So can you describe to me what those clay-based rounds look like?
They look like a bullet.
What colors?
They're gray. They look exactly like a bullet. Brass head and a brass base, packed with something, I'm assuming, and then the head look like a bullet. So cosmetically, you see that in the cylinder. The other rounds you shoot have it's the base with the pin. This comes up, this comes up, and it's a round like this. And if you look at the top, if you're looking down at the bullet, with not the pin down here, the top of it, if you look down, it's folded in like almost like a
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, they're like a dumpling.
Like a pinch.
Exactly, it's like a folded up thing, and the char, and all that does is go boom.
So if I,
There's no projectile there.
if I showed you a couple rounds, would you be able to tell me if they're the ones that look like they were on set?
Probably, if that, I think I could probably tell you which were the rounds that were put in cosmetic,
Okay.
and which were the rounds that were the flash rounds.
All right.
Now, forgive me, because I'm very upset right now.
I know.
But if you know what I'm saying, so please don't forgive my weirdness about this. That's what came out of Joel's shoulder.
Yes,
Out of Joel.
yes. And the reason why I was showing it, because you said you have experience, but you're saying when this does come out, it's supposed to just puff and not really be
Well, usually,
a hard object.
if there's any chance that when you look at the gun, so here's the barrel, here's the sight, and the cylinders around it, and it has the holes.
Hi, I'm Dutch Masters of Carnivore Trading, and I love making money trading stocks.
Mm-hmm.
We're just looking at the gun, the camera's eye view.
Yeah.
When you look at the cosmetic rounds go in, they have no flash. But if you want to have cosmetic rounds that flash, if you want me to hold the gun, you see the bolts, and I shoot, that material is often a clay or fabricated material that just disintegrates, just turns to powder.
And today,
And the round that you put that you don't see, you're not seeing down the barrel, you're shooting, those are the flash rounds, which have the top that looks like it's like folded kind of things like this, where it looks like someone's packed it and closed it.
but specifically today was supposed to be either empty or the ones that don't even make anything.
Cold
sound.
rounds.
So cold round, the one with the hole in it.
Yes.
And it's not supposed to puff up or powder off, like you said. Nothing.
Halls told me that when he checked the rounds with her, they were all had the holes in them.
Halls
And
told me this.
sometimes he told me when I
Pause for a
was
second
with
here.
this, they'll
Pause old Alec Baldwin. I'm going to take a look at this. I may just want to get out of this here. Just take my money and run on this. Let's see. The double dipper. If I were to get out early on this one, and I got out at 45, that would give me what? 385. 385.50 would give me 330. So let me get out. It's starting to move against me, so I'm gonna try to go with 55 to begin with. I may go up to 60 on this. That's at 65. So if I went 60, I could probably get filled on this. Let's see if this will do it. We got some. How many? So we got 8, 3 left. These should come in. So if we get out at 60 on these, that'll give us what? 220. There they go. Okay, so they all came in at 60. So let's lock that in. Let's see what we got. 220 on this one. So let's pull up the old Excel sheet. Okay, so this is 228, 228.24, 228.24. We did is it 220, I think? 220 on this one. Yeah. 220 total risk. This is our first. So this is our first 11 contract that we passed. Well, sort of passed. So total risk on this is 4620. 4620. This one 20 minutes. Nope. 20 minutes, and we'll say time stop on this. So we're at 5,000 now. So let's see, what does that mean as far as scaling up on the next one? We say 420 times 12. 50, 40. So we go to 12. We can go to 12 next. We're just over that. So yeah, we can do 12 contracts on the next one. Scaled. So this is for the next one. This isn't for this one. But on the next one, we can do 12 contracts. So that's the first one time we'll do 12 contracts. That's cool. I'm just going to move these down and make some more room. And then I'm just going to recalculate these just to make sure that with all this moving around, everything is holding steady, holding true. So this is our win column. There's our wins. This is our loss column. And then when we subtract the losses from the wins, we get our total profit, which is 50.60. All right, that's it for this one. If you'd like to follow along with this trade, just make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, and you can also join me on my website. Just go over there. I'll leave a link to my website in the description below. Head on over there, sign up for my free email newsletter, and you'll get a welcome email from me. Just reply back to that welcome email, and I'll get back to you, and then we'll go from there. All right, that's it for this one. See you next time. Bye.